Hello everybody, my name is Anja Nikolic. I'm the CEO of the Australian Physiotherapy Association. Welcome to another episode of Advocacy Matters. And as always, I am joined by the National President, Scott Willis. Scott, welcome.
Thank you, Anja. It's always good to come and talk to you about advocacy.
Scott, I wanted to talk to you today about the Valuing Skills project. Can you tell us a little bit about how it came to be and what the background to it is?
Look, I think there's a lot of confusion out there from consumers, from funders, from governments, from a lot of different stakeholders. And I think we really needed to dig deep and see what our full scope of practice is and how it differentiates between other practitioners within the health system.
Minister Butler recognises this need as well. Tell us a little bit about the meeting that took place last year where scope of practice was discussed.
Yeah, late last year we were having a meeting with Minister Butler in his office in Adelaide, and it was quite evident that he wanted to delve a lot deeper into what our full scope of practice was, because I kept on bringing it up, and on the back of that he then announced only about 3 weeks after that he wanted to have a look at the full scope of practice for all practitioners, because there are some opportunities but also barriers within the system that are holding the system back and costing the system a lot of money.
So we know that there's confusion amongst funders about scopes of practice, and we know there's ministerial appetite to really clarify scopes of practice in healthcare. We have created a number of assets that look to clarify that for all of those audiences. The first such asset was the skill differential paper that differentiates the skills between physiotherapy and exercise physiology. Tell us a little bit about that asset.
Yeah, look, it really demonstrates the difference or the differential between physiotherapy and exercise physiology. And I think it's really important that we needed to do that because of there was some creep and also some confusion, like I said earlier, about what our full scope is and what it compares with exercise physiology. And if you have a look at the New South Wales compensable scheme, the CIRA, that was a classic example where we needed to actually ensure physiotherapy was maintained and not changed to physical therapies, because other therapies could actually come in and provide some similar type of therapies but not at the same quality and not at the same safety aspect of what physiotherapy can provide. So I think it's really, really important, not just for New South Wales but for Australia-wide.
So we already have a live example of where a policy decision has been made that is suboptimal for the patient and the healthcare system as a result of some of this confusion around scopes of practice and expertise and skills that different professionals bring. We're still very much advocates for the multidisciplinary approach, but clarity around scopes of practice in a changing environment and in a healthcare environment that is constantly evolving and reforming is really important.
Definitely. Look, team-based care is one of the main things that the Medicare Task Force review recommendations was all about. We totally agree with that. We want to back that to the hilt, but what we don't want to do is actually erode physiotherapy as part of that team. And we don't want to confuse the public, we don't want to confuse the funders, and we don't want to confuse the government of what the differences are between physiotherapy and other therapies. We do have a different skill set. We do have a greater skill set, and we need to demonstrate that and the value with it.
And I think it's fair to say that whenever we start to have a conversation around our skills and our value as compared to the skills and value of other professions, there might be a little bit of discomfort around that. But I'd like members to rest assured that these assets have come about out of a necessity and out of an existing confusion out there amongst funders, amongst government departments about what it is that we actually do. And in a changing, reforming health system, clarity around what that skill differential is and what each profession's scope of practice is really fundamental. So we would mutually encourage people to get involved and have some robust conversations where required in order to protect and advance the physiotherapy scope of practice.
Definitely, and me as a member, I'd be really worried if my professional association didn't do something to defend that. And I think for us as office bearers here at the APA, it's our role to actually defend the profession, but also the association. So we're doing everything in our power to make sure that everyone knows what our scope of practice is and how we value add to the health system.
The next asset that is coming out is one that is focused on GPs. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, I think again there's some confusion with general practitioners about what is the full scope of practice for physiotherapy, what we can offer their patients. So I think this is really going to demonstrate what that differential is between us and other practitioners, and how we can actually value add to their patients so that they do have a better journey. It is at good quality and very safe.
Thank you so much, Scott, for joining us and explaining valuing skills. Merry Christmas to you, happy holidays, and all the very best for the new year to our members as well.